guys, welcome to another Bizzyworks plugin focused tutorial. And today we're going to take a look at Presonus' own X-Trem. It's a native Studio One plugin, and it's for tremolo and panning effects. Really cool stuff that you can do with it. So let's go and check it out. Okay, so I prepared a little project for you guys. So let's first have a listen at what we're going to be making. Here we go. So, let's start with the top layer, which is a basic sweep kind of thing. Let's hear it. So what we did here is took an instance of Serum, and we took our basic sweep preset, which is in the Anacrusis sound bank, which is available for free. So check out our Facebook page for that if you want to. So it's a basic noise sweep, let's see, which you can control here via macro button. Now, if we take a look at the mixer here, we have a couple of plugins enabled, so I'll just disable them. And then we can hear how it sounds. Here we go. Just some basic stuff with some resonance. But I wanted to get a little bit more movement in there. So what I did was first filter out some of the low end. Let's see. Here you go. Some low end off. And then I took Presonus X-Trem plugin to do some really cool stuff. So, well, let's open up first the basic X-Trem plugin, and if you don't know where it is, then you can go to the Effects tab and then click on the Presonus tab, and then all these native plugins will be opening, and then all the way at the bottom there's X-Trem. So let's drop it in there, and let's see what you can do with it. There's two functions. You've got the tremolo function, which is just a volume shaper. And then we've got the panning, which just automates things left and right. So pretty easy. We got a depth button, and then we have a beats knob for controlling how fast or how slow it will work. If you have the sync button on there, then it will sync to your tempo. And if you have it off, then it will be displayed in hertz. So it will work like a sort of an LFO type. Now, under the sync button, there's you can choose which waveform that you want to be using: triangle, sine, sawtooth, square, or you can use a couple of really cool step sequencers, really simple step sequencers, I must say. So let's see how we can use this. So what I did here in this instance is I took the Serum and I automated the depth and the speed of X-Trem. So if we drop a blank one, let's do that, and we take off the sync, use the X-Trem function, so the tremolo function, and let's just take the depth all the way to 100%, and then the speed also. And then if we start, we get this. Just really fast. Now, if you want to automate it, we can do this. Really cool stuff. So let's just draw some automation. So as you can see, every time I click a certain parameter, then it will be visible here up in the upper left corner. So if I click on speed, then it will see speed there, and we can drag it over to the correct channel, and then we can draw in an automation line like this. Okay, so pretty cool. Now, in the example that I made, I did also automate a little bit of the depth. So the first attack part of the sweep will be much more hearable. So another thing that you can really do with this is do it all the way backwards. So take it really slow and then just automate it up a little bit. So as you can see here, I did it there with a pitch shifter and also with some LFO speed. So here we go. So on this track, I've got a sound shifter from Waves, which is automating the pitch up from 1 octave below to just 0. And then I've got an ultra maximizer just to flatten out the sound. So it will be compressed like hell. And then I've got the X-Trem, which is going from really slow, as you can see, to really fast. And also with a tremolo function. And I chose a triangle to make it a little bit more dramatic. If you really want to make it even more dramatic, you can use a square wave type. What we're going to take a look at that later. So the other one that I used was this simple lead sound, which is a really, really basic lead sound. It's coming from Silent. So let's see it. There it is, just 2 voices, saw wave, distortion, some chorus, and an EQ on there, and some pitch modulation. Nothing too fancy. So if I take everything off, then it sounds like this. Already cool for some hardstyle stuff. Now, if we want to make this a little bit more stuttery, then we can use X-Trem for that. So what I did there was take the step sequencer from X-Trem and I drew in a couple of lines. Now you can do this freely just by dragging and holding the mouse, and you can make your own patterns. So what I did there was all the way up in volume, all the way down, all the way up, then a couple down, and then a long one up and then one down, just to make sure that it doesn't bind to the first note again. And then I set it to a quarter note, depth all the way up, so it's either on or off, and then we get this. So really easy, really simple stuff, and you can make your own cool variations on this. Of course, you can make this like maybe this one. So you can make some really cool, easy stutter things, even glitchy stuff. Another thing that I also did was I used the X-Trem as a sort of an, how do you call it? Like a sidechain function. So if we take the super source, for instance, here, they get dug down, and of course you can use something like Nicky Romero's Kickstart or LFO tool, or my favorite tool is actually Volume Shaper from Cable Guys. But if you don't want to invest in plugins and you just want to use the native stock stuff, then you can also use X-Trem for that, like this. Let's see. It's really easy. You can take the steps and then just draw in a line. And depending on how you choose your depth, you can make a really cool sidechain function. So really cool stuff. There's of course some other stuff going on at this channel, which is an unfiltered audio dent, which is my favorite distortion at the moment. It's really cool. FabFilter Pro Q, and then we've got the Vengeance stereo bundle, just making it a whole lot stereo. Then we've got the sub part, which doesn't have an X-Trem plugin on there, and we have the Arpeggiator, which is this one. Now, as you can hear, if you're not listening on a mono system, the arpeggiator is going from left to right just a little bit. And let's see how we did that. There's an instance of X-Trem on there, of course. So it's been set to panning mode, and I've set it to half a beat. And depending on how you choose your depth, you can make it swing from left to right. So it's really easy to get stuff out of the middle of the mix. So let's hear it. So of course you can choose how extreme that you want to do it. For instance, you can take a square wave and then just make it really fast. Or maybe even faster. It's a little bit less clicky if you choose a triangle or a sine wave because it's a little smoother. So some great stuff there. Just simple stuff, but it really works. So guys, hope you liked this video. I hope you learned some really cool stuff from it. If you don't want to miss any of our future videos, then subscribe to our channel, click the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future episodes. If you liked it, then leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then leave a thumbs down and tell us why you didn't like it so we can perfect some of our future videos. Hope to see you next time.